Good morning. It has been a long time since I have posted anything. I had full intention of filming this whole series of me getting ready for Rainier, which was supposed to be in the middle of June. It is July 25th. And obviously we did not go to Rainier because the world has lost its mind. And yeah, our Rainier trip, IMG was the people that we booked it with, and they were so kind. They waited until really the last second, until they kind of had to make a choice. They were trying very hard to keep our dates, but ended up giving us the exact same dates for June of next year, 2021. So that was very disheartening, just because I had been working very hard trying to train for that endurance challenge. So as soon as that happened, I quickly texted my running coach with Resolute Running and told him that I had no purpose in life and I needed to find something to train for very quickly, or else I was just going to sit on the couch and eat chips, and there you go. So he texted me back very quickly and said to sign up for the Southeastern Trail Race series. There's a long series and a short series. The long series has some crazy miles, so if you're like an ultra runner, you would love it. Little bit much for me, since I really have not done much trail running. So I signed up for the short series, which is still pretty challenging considering some of the mileage and the terrain during this time of year. In Alabama in the summer, if you've never been here, maybe you've been to somewhere tropical, that would be Alabama in the summer. The humidity is ridiculous. You step outside and immediately start sweating buckets. It is not a dry heat, it is a wet heat. That's Alabama. But we are most of the way through the trail series now. It was kind of a rough start just because they were trying to make sure they did everything correctly according to health guidelines, and they've done a very good job of doing that. And the trail series, there's not as many people as you would see at a road race. So that makes it a lot easier. But I just finished it's supposed to be a 9-mile race, and I think it was more like 10.5. It's called Hotter Than Hell, and there was actually a heat advisory that day. It was like 85 by 7 o'clock in the morning. That was terrible. But made it through. Really, the challenge with that was some of the terrain, which was very difficult. Kind of wish I had had poles. That's something I need to look into. But really, the fight was with the heat and the humidity. Trying to stay hydrated, trying to stay properly balanced as far as electrolytes. But training in humidity like this is very good for training in altitude, because that's something I don't have around here. So, my next race is in about a month. It is August 22nd, I think. It is called the Ridge to Blazing Ridge, and my mileage is the lower one, which is 10.5 miles. That's just one loop. So if you so please, you can do 2 loops. No, not this year, but 10.5 miles is going to be enough for me. And it's going to be extremely hot because it's the end of August, dog days of summer down here in Alabama. So yet again, the challenge is going to be staying hydrated. And some of the terrain, they are very clear that this race is tough as far as the terrain. So I think I may actually buy some poles today. I've been looking at different ones on the internet, and really think I'm just going to go to REI and grab their poles, because I'm kind of sick of looking at poles. I just need a pair. So I can learn how to run with poles, because I've got hiking poles, but they're a little heavy. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. And our Rainier trip, of course, is June 2021 now. However, exciting news, we have booked our trip for Kilimanjaro in January. So right now I am Kilimanjaro training. We are coming from a pretty much sea level environment to high altitude. So that is going to be the big challenge for us. And obviously the more fit, the more physically ready I am, the more I don't have to worry about that, and I can focus on being ready for the altitude. That's what's gonna be going on, and I'm gonna try and keep up with it now that we actually have a plan and I actually have a purpose to be training, because otherwise I just don't do well. So yeah, follow along. This is the moment when you realize you're not where you thought you were. Nope, that's not a trail. This is not exactly where I'm supposed to be. I think I just added about a mile to my run, but that's okay. I'm not lost, just know where I'm supposed to be. Trying something new instead of gels, which there's a couple that I like, but they get old. I am trying natural stuff like apricots. I had a little packet of peanut butter earlier. So far it's working out pretty well. I also have electrolyte capsules though, because it's Alabama and it's July. Well, there's a good mix of technical single track trails here at Red Mountain. There's some pretty good wide flat paths that would be very passable for a stroller or small kids. or people with mobility issues. So, something for everybody. Okay, back in the car. Yeah, about an extra half mile, maybe a little bit more. I'm really sweaty. Felt pretty good, actually. Definitely had some tight legs as I was starting, but went pretty well. The peanut butter and the apricots actually worked out really well. Took my electrolyte capsules, so that kept me up on those. And I have liquid IV in my pack, though it's mixed pretty thinly, more water to powder than it says on the packet. I run with a Nathan Trail Mix pack. I really do like it. I was a little hesitant about a lot of the vests just because I am bigger through the shoulders and the chest. I am not crazy about the straps, the way they kind of cut across my chest, but I think maybe the best I can get. But anyway, my new toy is a insulated Hydra Pack. It's a 1.5 liter, so it's a little bit smaller than my 2 liter. So I do have to be conscious of that, but it does keep my water a lot cooler. I tried to get one of those like neoprene tube cover things to insulate the tube, but trying to get it on there was about to give me an apoplectic fit, so I just kind of gave up. But yeah, the insulated Hydra Pack cover is pretty crucial these days. I'm a big fan of it. It does not keep it super cold for hours and hours on end. It's not like, you know, a bottle like that. That would be way too heavy, but it does keep it cooler for a good bit of time, especially if you put a big chunk of ice in there. So that one is recommended.